Hello, my dear all students. Welcome back to our channel G.M.Mahuva Online Education. I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. So, my dear all students, from today we are going to start our supplementary reader movements supplementary reader in English for standard 9 for class 9. Okay, so in this movements, so many lessons are there, different kind of stories we will study in this movements supplementary reader. So let's get started our first unit. Okay, so here we have contents, number of units, name of units we have here. So our first unit, the lost child, that unit we will start today. So we are going to start that unit, the lost child, by Mulk Raj Anand. The lost child. A child goes to a fair with his parents. So what is about the story? The little bit just a little bit information about this unit, the lost child. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? So, in this story, one child is there, obviously, because the title of the story is The Lost Child. So, there is one child who went to the fair with his parents, who is very happy and excited, and he wants some sweets and toys which were displayed there. But his parents don't buy those sweets and toys for him. So why did they refuse when someone else offer them to him? So let's see what happens this with this boy and how did he lose. Okay, so it was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrowlands and alley emerged a gaily clad humanity. So the atmosphere was there, wintry atmosphere was there, spring was there, so festival, spring was there, and with lots of festivals. So that was one of them festival. So some walked, some rode on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. So here we can see the picture how the fair was there. So that one child was there who is with his parents. So many shops we can see in this picture. So some are walking, some are riding on horses, and others are sitting, and other being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. So, how that little boy was there with his father, between his father's leg and brimming over with his life and laughter. So, what's the condition of them? They have described. Come, child, come, called his parents as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. So, here that boy was wanting something, but his parents were just lagging him to means they are telling him to go in some another area. So that little boy's parents were telling him that come child come, as he lagged behind. He was going behind and behind. Why? Because he was fascinated by the toys in the shops. In the particular shops, some toys were there, some sweets were there, and he wanted it. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient, obedient to their call, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he couldn't suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. So here he hurried towards his parents, that little boy, and his feet obedient to their call. Means he wanted that toys, but his fits were just follow his parents' call. His eyes still lingering on the receding toys. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though. So he wanted very, his desire was very much to purchase that toy. Even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. So his parents were refusing to purchase those toys, and he could see that very well. I want that toy, he pleaded. His father looked at him red eyed in his familiar tyrant's way. So, here I want that toy, that little boy pleaded. So, he pleased his parents that please, I just want to purchase that toy. He just requested. So, his father looked at him red eyed. He became very angry. Little boy's father became little bit angry with red eyed in his familiar treatment's way. They were familiar that how my father angry, so he was habituated, kind of, he was familiar with that act. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the days, was tender and giving him her finger to hold, said, look, child, what is before you? So here that little boy's father became angry, but his mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender. So she became little bit melted, and it's of course somehow it happens when uh, both parents, means mother and father, when one is angry, when one is becoming angry on that time, that second mother or father is melted. So here this kind of thing happened. Mother became melted, and by the free spirit of the day was tender and said, and she gave him her finger to hold and said, look, child, what is before you? So she just tried to convey to him that what is before you. It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone-black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it, but it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air. When he had almost caught it in his hands, then his mother gave a quaternary call. Come, child, come, come on to the footpath. So here it was a flowering mustard field. So what was that toy? It's a like about it. Pal like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. So how they went. So a group of dragonflies were bursting about on their gaudy purple wings. So the uh, explanation of or the information or how that dragonflies was looking like. So their gaudy purple wings intercepting the flight of a lawnback bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. So how butterfly was in search of sweetness from the flowers. And the child followed them. The child was followed that butterfly, them in the air with his gaze. So wherever that butterfly was going, so he was just following that butterfly till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it. So that little boy, he was just trying to catch that butterfly, uh, so but it would go fluttering. So whenever he tried to catch that butterfly which was there on the flower, and what it was just doing, just search of sweetness from the flowers. So it was fluttering, then flapping up to the air. So when he had almost caught it in his hands, then his mother gave a contrary call. So on that time, when that little boy just tried to catch that butterfly, on that time his mother called her, call him, come child, come on to the footpath. He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them for a while, being, however, soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were streaming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. So here, whenever that little boy's mother called him, so he just followed them. Then what happened? He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them for a while. So for a while, he just followed his parents, being however soon left behind. So after a while, he just left behind, and what what did something's just attracted. What did attract? What was the attraction? So attraction of the insects, little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. So what did they do? That little insect and worms. So they were along the footpath, and they that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. Come, child, come. His parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. So here what happened, that his parents called him from a shade of a grove. that come child come, just don't pose yourself there. So where they had seated, so he there that little boy's parents were seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. So whenever he saw his parents seated on that time, he just ran towards them. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents, shouting, "The dove, the dove!" The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So, what happened here? A shower of young flowers fell upon the child. So, it fell upon that little child as he entered the grove. Whenever he entered the grove, so a shower of young flowers, it just fell upon the child. So he just forgot his parents, and he began to gather that rainy petals in his hands. But then what happened? He heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents. So again he saw the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents. And what did he shout? The dove, the dove, because he was very happy to see dove. The rainy petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So, whenever he saw, he just surprised to see them. So, whatever was there in his hand, so he just dropped that raining petals. "Come, child, come," they called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree. And gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. So, here again and again, the parents called him that, "Come, child, come," because he was just posed himself. Whenever he see the nature, the beauty of the nature, insect, flowers, birds, and all that thing, so in that time what happened, he just forgot everything and he gave attention, all the attention to them. So he forgot that with whom he is right now. So again his parents called him for 3 to 4 times. Their parents called him that, "Come beta, come, come child, come." His parents called to the child, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard field. So, how did they go, and which kind of road was there? So, it was running running in white capers round the banyan tree, and it was gathering him up, they took the narrow winding footpath. It was so that footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. So students, here we are going to end up our today's lecture. So if you find any difficulties regarding this story, so you are free to ask me anytime. Thank you. Thank you, my dear all students. Have a nice day.